Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So, today I'm going to take you on a little safari celebration, and we're going to focus on the February Paper Pumpkin Kit. So, I have a variety of different card ideas to share with you. The kit came with all the supplies that you need to make 9 cards in each of these 3 different designs. So, this is what the kit design looks like. But I actually created 17 different cards with this kit. So I'm going to show you guys some of those ideas. So if you haven't played with your paper pumpkin kit, um, I'll show you some fun ways to use some of these different die cut images. And then I'll also show you some fun ways to use the stamp set. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. So these are the kit cards, kind of. What I did is the first thing I did with my kit is I actually cut apart the card bases. So let me show you. The card base was actually front and back, and it had this fun little leopard skin kind of design on it. So in each of these 3 different colors. So instead of using the card base as is, I cut them apart into 4 by 5 1/4 inch pieces. So that way I had 18 pieces that I could use to create a whole bunch of cards. So that's the first thing I did. So these are the actual designs. The only difference is I used that 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of the card base, and then I just added my own card base here. So I hope that makes sense. So this is what the kit looks like. And then it came with some coordinating envelopes. So these are your standard cards. So when they're closed, they're 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So we had some cute little envelopes here. And then, of course, every paper pumpkin kit comes with an exclusive stamp set. So this is the stamp set from the kit. So there's a variety of different little greetings in here. So I'm going to show you some fun ways to use these greetings in your card making. So even if you don't have the kit, you can still pull out some of your own stamp sets and take a look at some of the greetings and how you can use them to create some fun backgrounds for your cards. So the cool thing about these greetings is they're all kind of themed the same way. So, they're all about celebration. You did it, you're amazing, congratulations. So these greetings work really well together for the cards I'm going to share today. All right, so let's move these out of the way and we will start with just some of the alternate projects that I created. So I'll share 4 different designs with you, and then I'll show you the rest. I'll create 4 different designs with you, and then I'll show you the rest that I created. So this first one, what I did is I actually just took some of the, I'm going to call it pattern paper, but it's kind of like pattern paper. I took some of those card bases and I just had some leftover scraps from creating the other cards, and I just cut them into little strips. So these are just 1/2 inch wide strips and they're 4 inches long. So I took some of that, the fresh freesia paper, and I cut it into little strips. And then I just took some regular cardstock and cut those into little strips. So this is the fresh freesia, and then this is the rich razzleberries. So the kit came with a little rich razzleberry, um, what do you call it? Stampin' Spot, little ink spot. So what I'm going to do is basically just adhere these to a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock. So this is a great way to use up your little scrap pieces. So they're just, like I said, a 1/2 inch wide. I'm going to just turn this. They're 1/2 inch wide and they're 4 inches long. And you just adhere them right down a piece of cardstock. You can do this right on the card base as well. You don't necessarily need a piece of white cardstock, but I just find I line them up a little bit better when I use a piece of cardstock. And you're just going to adhere them all the way down. So this was a fun little design that I actually received a card from my friend Linda Anderson. So Linda, if you're on, hi. So I received a card from her for Valentine's Day, and it had this just fun little design. And I thought I would share it with you today. So I cut about, I think I cut 8 or 9 pieces. Well, we got 4 of them on there, so we'll count as we go. So just adhere them all the way down. And this image was kind of big, so that's why I adhered this many pieces. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have put this many on here, but I had to make sure I had enough background for my image. And you just kind of go down, and I just rotated my pieces. And you can already see the pretty background that we're getting from it. So you know, take a look at your scrap pile, because I know we all have one. So take a look at your scraps and see what you can create with it. All right, so I think we have 9 of them on here, right? 3, 6, yep, we have 9. So I put 9 on this one. And then we'll just adhere this to our card base. So like I said, this is just a great way to use up those scraps. All right, so that's our card base. And then I just used some of the pieces from the kit. So there was some little vellum circular shapes here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue right down the center because we won't see this. So the elephant will cover it up. And then I'm just going to pop up this little image here. I kind of wish we would have had some extra images like this in the kit this month, but we didn't. Sometimes we get extra images, but we didn't get extra of these. But I really thought these were adorable. So it would have been fun to have a few extra in there, I guess. And then this is one of the labels, one of the die cut shapes that was in the kit. So I just stamped the congratulations on there. And then that's really it. And then I added some of these little, I don't know if you can see them. Let me put it on the white paper. They're like little pebbles, little white pebbles that came in the kit. So let's see if I can get them off here. They don't want to come off. So then you just add these onto the card. And you just have a really cute little design. So move that out of the way. So that's the first card. And actually I created another one, very similar, except for this time I used just the different colors, but it's the exact same concept. It's just the 1/2 inch wide by 4 inches long pieces of paper and just adhere them down. And of course I had to do a little bit of my paper tearing on this one. So, okay. So that is the first card, the first alternate idea for you. Then the second one, I just decided to do this a little different from, let me show you the main card. So this is the card from the kit. And this one, I just kind of rearranged it a little differently and just used smaller pieces of that card base. So I started with my own cardstock. So this is Bumblebee cardstock. And then I took one of those card bases, and this piece I cut down to 1.5 by 5.25. So that's just going to go right there. So I just like to kind of play around with the materials in the kit to just create something a little bit different. And then we have our little vellum piece. So this I just lined up right with the edge of the card. So I'm going to put some glue in the center because that's where we're going to do the main The main focal point will be in the center. So with the vellum, you can actually see the glue through it, but that's okay. We're going to be covering all that up with our little embellishments here. So let me just get the dimensionals off. Apparently I went a little crazy with the dimensionals. Got to make sure it stays in place. There we go. So then this little guy is just going to go right over here on the side. And then these little round circular pieces came in the kit, but you can easily create this with a little circle shape. You can, make your little sentiment with this. So I'll put that there. And then I'm gonna, let's see, do I have enough to tuck in here? I might have put too many dimensionals on. So we'll just snip this down a little bit. So these are some of the little pieces that came in the kit that I'm just kind of using to decorate my cards. So I'll just add a little bit of glue here. Tuck that one in. So did you guys get your kit and put it together already? You can just let me know in the comments. Let's get that in there. I'll look at your comments after I'm done with the video. Sometimes I can't do two things at once. Otherwise I'll get too distracted. And then our little greetings. So all of these little pieces came in the kit. I just decided to just kind of rearrange them to create just a different card, a different design, but it's the same images from the kit. The only thing I added was my card base. All right, and then you can go ahead and add those little stones on there to decorate it. So that's what the card looks like, the alternate idea. So that's card number 2. And then this third card is just a fun way to use your greetings. So what I did, I'm going to just grab my stuff here. I think I need a bigger craft table, don't we all? So I'm just using the Fresh Freesia ink, kind of making it a little bit monochromatic. And I'm going to grab my stuff. So I started with just a piece of white cardstock. So I cut this a little bit smaller than my frame. So this is just a 4 by 5¼ inch piece of the card base, or you can use designer paper. And then I just took one of the rectangular dies, those stitched dies, and I cut out the center to create a little frame. So this will go around our greetings once I stamp them, and it'll just frame it out really nicely. And then you can decorate it with whatever you want to decorate it with. I used just some of the pieces from the kit. So what I'm going to do is I cut this piece a little bit smaller. So this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. So it's a little bit smaller than my frame. And that way I don't have to, it'll give me a little bit of wiggle room to kind of move my my greetings around so I can line them up correctly behind the frame. So I'll show you that. So let me just ink this up. What I did is I put all of my greetings on one block. So that way I could just stamp them all at once. And I want to kind of go down a little bit in the middle. Hopefully this will work. There we go. So that's just a great way of, using some of your greetings or sentiments. You can do that with sentiments too, not just one-liners like I have here. Uh, and then you can just take your frame and you can put it over the top and frame out your greetings. So I'm just going to take these dimensionals off. So I popped up my frame because I like to give my cards a little bit of depth and dimension. And like I said, even if you don't have this month's paper pumpkin kit, you can still do this card design with any greetings that you have, any stamp sets that you have on hand. All right, I think I got all those off. Yep, all right. So let's see if I can line this up. I'm gonna move this out of the way a minute. And then just lay that over the top. And you have a cute little framed out piece. And now you can go ahead and add it to what, your card base. So I'm gonna just put some glue on here. So you can see why I cut it just a little bit smaller. Then I didn't have to be perfect with how I lined it up behind this frame. So just a little tip for you. We'll add that. And then we'll add our little pieces. I'm just using, like I said, a variety of different pieces from the kit. And I think I popped these up a little bit, but we'll just glue them down. Will be different. And let's see, we'll tuck that little piece under there. And then we'll just crisscross these little pieces. Oh, I better hold that in place for a second. Getting a little ahead of myself. And then we'll just add this little piece. So, again, you can use this however you want. This would look really pretty with a little flower spray down there or some butterflies. Let's see. No, I can't tuck that under there. There we go. And then we'll just add a little bow. So I just have a little piece of twine tied into a little bow here. And that's it. So cute. Just a fun way to use the greetings, because this particular stamp set that I'm using came with a lot of greetings, not a lot of images, not a lot of like leaf images or things like that. It just came with a lot of different greetings. So it was a little bit of a challenge to come up with different ideas for you, but I hope you like them so far. And then this last card, we're going to actually just create together because I only had one little monkey image left. so we'll design this one as we go. I don't have a sample card for you, but I kind of have an idea of what I wanted to do. So we'll start here with this white piece of cardstock. So this is just my standard size that I always use, the 4x5 1/4. And so we'll adhere this right here. And then this piece, I'll have to remember what the size was. It is 1.5 by 4.5. And so this was just kind of a little scrap piece that I had. So I'm just going to adhere this right over on the left side. And then I have this little leftover piece of designer paper, or part of that card base. So this is 2 1/4 by 4. And so I'm just going to adhere this layered right over this piece. And then we're going to add our image. And again, I have it loaded with dimensionals. Can't have saggy images, so gotta have a lot of dimensionals. And then we'll put this one here, but let's see. So I'm going to design this as we go. So before we put that there, I'm going to add my leaf. Otherwise, I won't be able to add it. So we'll add this here. This is a bigger one. And then this one, I think we can add right there. See, now you guys get to see my designing process in action. So we'll add this one kind of off to the side here. And then let's put this on. What do you think? Probably right about there, huh? Looks good. And then our little greeting, let's put it off this way. So let's grab a dimensional here. So that's really what I do when I design is I just kind of cut out my little pieces. In this case, they were already cut out because this was a kit. But I just play around with the pieces and lay them in different directions on the card. There we go. Well, that's a cute little card. Let's see how it looks with a bow. I don't know. Maybe we'll add the bow later. I'll have to think about that one. Kind of looks cool like that. With or without the bow, you guys tell me, and then I'll add the bow later. All right, so that is the fourth card. So here are some of the cards. Let me grab these back here. So here are some of the cards, the alternate ideas that I created with the kit. And I already showed you this one. So this was a similar one to the elephant one over here with these little 1/2-inch strips. And then I took the greetings and I used them to create a fun little border around the card. So you guys can do the same thing with your greetings. I started by just stamping one greeting. So I kind of went around the card and stamped the congratulations. So I stamped it there and there. And I just kept turning my card base like this and stamping. And then I went back and saw I had a larger space here. So I stamped 2 different images there. And then I just stamped a little splatter image here. So it was really easy to just kind of create that fun border. And then I used the leftover pieces from this card, to create kind of a centerpiece for this card. So those rectangular pieces, when you create a frame, you can then use the piece that you cut out from your frame, you can use it to make additional cards. So I just created this in all 3 of the colors and used up some of the pieces from the kit. So that's really a fun little card idea. And then I created another little frame. So it's very similar to this other one. The only difference is I did it in landscape style here, and this one's in portrait. So it's the same concept, except for I added all of the images, all of the different celebration images to create just this monochromatic style card. So that was another one. And then I was doing some more monochromatic card ideas, and then I decided it was too blah, and I had to add some pops of color. So then I just created these little pieces by stamping them on some scrap pieces of that fresh freesia cardstock, and then just adding the little pops of color and some little shapes down on the bottom. And then this last one, I just used up some of the other pieces that I had. I only had a couple little pieces left, so I just used up some of those pieces to create this fun card. So this is actually the framed out piece, like creating the frame. And then I just took one of the purple pieces and kind of mixed the colors together. So that's how I have the purple inside and the yellow outside. So it's just kind of something different and something kind of fun to do. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed these card ideas. Like I said, you don't necessarily need to have the kit. Obviously, all of these cards right here, you can use any little embellishments to decorate your cards, but the card designs will work with any stamp set that you have on hand. So, all right. So I hope you guys enjoyed these fun little card ideas and just a look into the February paper pumpkin. And I think that's all I have. So I will see you guys, talk to you guys next week. So take care, everybody, and have a great week.